We're going to call the Town Council regular meeting, September 6th, to order. Betsy, can you do a roll call?
Absolutely. We have councilors.
Flax, Antipas, Barber, Dela Cruz, Grimm, Morton, Nault, Perizzotti, and Watson. So that's a full calendar, full slate of, I mean, you know, everybody's here. Everybody's here.
We're all present.
The whole roll is here.
All
Yes,
right.
all present and accounted for.
Councilor Antipas, could you lead us in the salute to the flag?
Certainly. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. There was one proclamation. Councilor Perizzotti, would you mind reading the proclamation?
I would love to. Proclamation recognizing Constitution Week, September 17th through September 23rd, 2016. Whereas September 17th, 2016 marks the 226th anniversary for the drafting of the Constitution of the United States of America by the Constitutional Convention. And whereas it is fitting and proper to officially recognize this important document and the significance of the anniversary of its creation. And whereas it is appropriate to publicly recognize the patriotic celebrations which we will commemorate the occasion, and whereas Public Law 915 guarantees the issuing of a proclamation each year by the President of the United States of America designating September 17th through the 23rd as Constitution Week. Now therefore be it resolved that the Mayor of the Town and the Town Council of the Town of Groton, Connecticut, do hereby proclaim September 17th through the 23rd, 2016 to be Constitution Week, and be it further resolved that the citizens of the Town of Groton be urged to reaffirm the ideals of the framers of the Constitution as they had in 1787 by vigilantly protecting the freedoms guaranteed to us through the guardian of our liberties and remembering the lost rights may never be regained. Dated at Groton, Connecticut, this 17th day of September 2016, signed by our Mayor, Bruce Flex.
Thank you. We have no one signed up for citizens petitions, so we will skip that, and we will skip responses to citizen petitions.
Move the consent calendar.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilor Antipas, a second by Councilor Perizzotti to move the consent calendar. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? That passes 9-0. Which gets us to communications and reports. We'll go with Councilor De La Cruz.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We had a nice 3 weeks off. I think everyone enjoyed that. Good to see everyone. October 1st, we're having our first annual, it's a sober softball tournament. So if anybody wants to come, it's going to be at the Washington Park. We have 8 teams already signed up. It's been a tremendous response. We have, I think it's, all 8 teams have somebody on there that maybe one of the loved ones have passed away, and they're going to name the team after that person, which is really neat to see. I attended our August meeting for the Community Speaks Out. It was this past August, I think it was the 17th. But basically, one of the folks that we got help actually came back, and he's been clean for 9 months. The police haven't had to arrest him anymore. He was in a lot of trouble before he left. But he spoke to our group, and he's doing really well, so we were really happy to see that. I think we're making some strides here in Groton. And then, as I mentioned earlier, there is a PAC meeting that started up for the Groton 2020. You know, I've been knocking on a lot of doors and talking to a lot of people, and I can tell you, if anyone has that excuse of they don't only want the one middle school, I don't think they're going to get funding for 2 middle schools in the future. Everyone's talking about regionalization, all these different things. If that's one of the reasons that you think that you don't want to support the schools, you have to get that out of your mind. One school is going to be what happens. If it doesn't happen now, it's going to happen eventually. So I think we all have to get on board because it's one of those things that they're not going to support later on. And I'm very excited about the schools, and I think I've been talking to a ton of people, and there's a lot of people that are supporting it. So I think hopefully, if they have any questions, you can call me for sure, because that's kind of what I'm hoping to do the work on this fall and get that thing passed. So hopefully that happens.
Thank you. Councilor Null?
Yes, on the 24th, I went to that Shellfish Commission out over at the Elks, and it was attended by Don Scott and what's a representative from East Line? Yeah,
Paul Formica.
Paul Formica, Andre Baumgartner, and Courtney's aide was there. And there was a good discussion on what's happening with the shellfish. And then the next day, we had our economic development meeting, and Diane was there too. And we talked about a lot of things, but there are some issues with vacancies. So I think they're going to be coming to talk to you, Mark. And
Vacancies.
there's some members that have not been attending the meetings.
Oh,
that
yes,
we're going to
the
review.
chairman did send me an email with a resume of somebody.
Okay.
And I did talk to John Reiner today to see have we received any letters of resignation, and he was going to check and get back.
Okay.
Great. Counselor Grimm?
I have nothing.
Counselor Watson?
I did attend the softball game between the city and the town.
Oh, yeah, I
police,
went to that
but,
too. It was fun.
I'll let our mayor report on that.
Thank you. Counselor Antipas?
Yes, one item, August 17th, I, Councilor Nault, and Mayor Flags were at the City Pier in New London
Oh, that's
for a
right.
press conference
Forgot about that.
having to do with dredging and the contretemps between Connecticut and New York. New York is opposing the designation of the eastern disposal site as a permanent site, which is apparently going to put the kibosh, would put the kibosh on our efforts to keep the Thames River dredged. Lots of people were there.
That it, Counselor?
That's it.
Thank you. Counselor Morton?
I have nothing to report.
Counselor Barber?
I know nobody's watching because Heather is having her first debate as we speak, so go Heather, our hearts are with you. I went to the Economic Development meeting last week, and Paige announced there's a lot of exciting things going on in Groton, and I'm really excited about it. It's all good for Groton. I did receive a phone call from an old acquaintance that I hadn't seen in a while, wondering why I am for the school referendum. I explained to her that I am not supporting it, yet I am supporting that the taxpayers should have the final say. In the email that I got from Jane Dolphinese, I explained, and you all got it, that I don't agree with spending the money on the one school, and that there are alternatives. And I believe we should get with our local representatives to see, maybe we should ask the state if we could maybe lease the old tech school when they open the new school for $1 a year and make that our new middle school. That way you wouldn't have the traffic coming out in the middle of Fort Hill Road, and the Merritt property could be turned into some sport fields and allocated the way it was meant to be, and maybe the Merritt family would be happy. So there are alternatives, and I just needed to put it on the table that I'm sorry, but I don't agree with it. Thank you.
Counselor Perizzotti?
I just want to make note, and I'll let Nikki know, I will not be here Tuesday, September 20th. Thank you.
I always lose my papers. I went to the electric boat stakeholder meeting on August 23rd. I also went to the press conference on dredging. I met with, at Temple Emmanuel in Waterford, they have a new rabbi, Mark Extron, and I met with him. He's a great guy, he's really, really nice. So he's brand new to the area, and he settled in, I think he settled in Stonington. He did settle in Stonington. So it's nice to have him in Mystic. The softball game was August 13th, the police game, and that was well attended. I think we talked about that. And I've received some letters. I had received an email regarding the blasting at the U-Haul site, and I know the town did look into that. And I also received a letter from Roseanne Katowski regarding, I tell you, man, here it is, regarding the, it was about Old Lyme joining the Health District. And there's an article in the paper about it, and just some, I'll give them information to Mark. And if there's anything to look into, he can look into it. But I appreciate her bringing that to our attention. And then I have one other question, and Mark, maybe we can just ask. I know when we talk to the ambulances, that they say they don't put their sirens on unless they need to. And Sunday morning at 8 o'clock in the morning, the ambulance went by. You could hear it from when it left, I think, on Allen Street. But it can't, I'm guessing it went down to the old folks' place down in BB Pond area.
Okay.
But at 8 o'clock in the morning, you could hear it from when it came out of its driveway up Route, and then up Route 215 and down, and there's not a car on the road. So I'm wondering if we can just check with them and just to find out what the policy is with regards to sirens.
So this is Mystic River?
I would admit, yeah, yep. So that's all I had. Oh, go ahead.
Just one thing that I'm remembering from being here for a while. Mark, is there not rules as to what we can say once we've passed an ordinance as far as council meetings go?
Yep.
I think the council, maybe we ought to get that opinion dusted off and given
Sure.
to us, because we're using town funds and town television broadcast here, and I'm not sure we should be championing one side or the other at this point. We passed the ordinance, and I think I think legally it's wrong for us to jump up and say this or that. So I just want to make sure that everybody knows that.
Clerk of the representative town meeting.
Yes, Mayor, the representative town meeting will be meeting next week. That would be September 14th at the Groton Senior Center at 7:30. All are welcome. And they do have just a limited agenda for that meeting, and it's Rules and Procedure has a outstanding report to give to the body.
Clerk of the council.
Okay, and I just have one item to present to you. It's a letter that we received today from the Office of Policy and Management that they received an electronic copy of the Town of Groton's Plan of Conservation and Development. They actually received that in July, but I just got the letter today, and the effective date for our Plan of Conservation and Development is October 1st, and you're quite well aware of this document, so I just wanted you to know that officially it has been received, so.
Thank you. Town manager.
I really don't have anything except to review with you, at least at this point, what's potentially going to be on next week's Committee of the Whole. We have the City of Groton and also West Pleasant Valley representatives coming in as a result of the council's desire to talk to fire districts before funding is dispersed. We may have some revised job position descriptions, possibly an update or further presentation on tax increment financing, also possibly an update on our ongoing discussions with Branford Manor and the tax incentive, a presentation by the consultants that were hired with the Brownfields grant that we received for both Groton Heights and Ogden Gas. That's probably going to be a half-hour presentation that they're going to be doing just to give you an update as to their findings and recommendations. And I am expecting a letter or an email from the city requesting that this year, some of this year's highway funding that they have been provided be used for them to do some preliminary work on Quantic Road, which would then, preliminary design work, which would then enable them to submit a grant application to the COG for some state funding. And that's all I have.
Okay. Harry, did personnel an appointment to meet?
No, we did not.
Okay. The Committee of the Whole did just meet, and we have several things that we're going to be voting on this evening. So without further ado, we'll go to the first one, 2016-0179, the North Stonington Road Bridge. And Councilor De La Cruz, do you have that?
It was open here.
It's in that. Yeah, here you go.
This one?
Yeah,
Number
yeah,
one.
no.
Number one.
That's the draft. right. Resolution authorizing the town manager to sign the State of Connecticut Department of Transportation commitment to fund the North Stonington Bridge replacement or rehabilitation project. Whereas the State of Connecticut Department of Transportation has reviewed the town of Groton's preliminary application for the replacement or rehabilitation of the North Stonington Road Bridge and determined that the project qualifies for local bridge program funding, and whereas the State of Connecticut is committed to funding $597,554.50, which is 50% of the estimated eligible project cost subject to program regulations and statutory requirements. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Council hereby authorizes Town Manager Mark R. Ofinger to sign the commitment to fund for the replacement or rehabilitation of North Stonington Road Bridge over Whitford Brook under the local bridge program. I so move.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilor De La Cruz, a second by Councilor Grimm. Any discussion on this? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? That passes 9-0. Next one is 2016-0201. Referendum date, form of the question, and explanatory text of design and construction of the Groton 2020 plan. Councilor Nault, do you have that?
Yep.
Great.
Further resolved that the question to be printed on the ballot shall be worded as follows. Shall the ordinance appropriating $184,500,000
Councilor Nault? Yeah, start from the,
Oh, all right, sorry.
that's okay.
Resolution setting referendum date and form of the question and authorizing explanatory text for the design and construction of the Groton 2020 plan. Whereas the Town Council and the representative town meeting of the Town of Groton have approved an ordinance appropriating $184,500,000 for the design and construction of the Groton 2020 plan, now therefore it be resolved that the ordinance be submitted for approval or rejection at a referendum to be held Tuesday, November 8th, 2016. Electors approving the ordinance will vote yes, and those opposing the ordinance will vote no. And I know about this. I got it. Further resolved that the question to be printed on the ballot shall be worded as follows. Shall the ordinance appropriating $184,500,000 and the authorizing issuance of bonds and notes in the same amount for the design and construction of the Groton 2020 plan, consisting of a new consolidated middle school and conversion of the existing middle schools into renovated like new elementary schools, be approved? And be it further resolved that the town clerk is hereby directed to issue any and all warnings, publish all such notices, and file all such statements and reports concerning said referendum as provided by law, and be it further resolved that the town clerk is authorized and directed to prepare a concise explanatory text regarding said ordinance, such text and explanatory material to be subject to the approval of the town attorney and the Groton Town Mayor, and to be prepared and distributed in accordance with Section 9-369B of the Connecticut General Statutes. I so move.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilor Nault, a second by Councilor Watson. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? That passes 9-0, which gets us to 2016-0220, allocation of funds from Capital Reserve Fund balance for Crystal Lake Road reconstruction. Councilor Grimm?
Where's that one at?
I thought you were on board, man. I thought you were-
Attachment 3.
Like to me, but-
Attachment 3. Resolution in support of operational safety improvements on Crystal Lake Road and authorization funding for the local share of the project. Whereas the town of Groton has published a legal notice, display ad, and mailed a copy of the news release to the number of officials and agencies, and mailed a preliminary notification letter to abutting property and business owners and tenants, announcing a proposed transportation project known as project number 58-H001, operational safety improvements on Crystal Lake Road.
Mark, is he reading that one?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, no, I'm sorry. No.
I think it's this one, Councilor Grimm.
That's what you've already done previously, so it's just before you get to attachment 4. Sorry, Greg.
We're all rusty. It's been 3
Okay, you
years.
can give him that right there.
I didn't even
Wait.
have the one.
It's not on page 5?
That's the one. I just
This
gave it
one.
to him.
Where did that one come from?
I
It was in the
did.
packet.
It was in the packet. I made a first one today.
Just before.
Thank you.
Ready?
Yep.
Resolution authorizing the allocation of $120,000 of the capital reserve fund to the Crystal Lake Road Reconstruction Fund. Whereas a total of $558,210 was approved in fiscal years 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, and 2015 from the capital improvement budget for the 10% local match for the reconstruction of Crystal Lake Road. And whereas the $558,210 was based on a preliminary $5,582,100 cost estimate of the project by the Connecticut Department of Transportation Project Development Unit. And whereas the final plans have been completed and the current final Connecticut Department of Transportation estimate for the project is $6,744,120. And whereas the project is expected to be publicly bid by September 2016, and whereas additional funding in the amount of $120,000 is necessary to fund the local 10% match, therefore be resolved that the Town Council authorizes the allocation of $120,000 from Capital Reserve Fund balance to Project 1, reconstruction of Crystal Lake Road Military Highway. I so move.
Second.
We have a motion by Council Grimm, a second by Council Perizzotti. Any further discussion on this? Seeing none, all those in favor? Oh,
This also needs to be ultimately referred to the RTM.
okay. So referred as well.
And refer to the RTM. I so move.
All those in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? That passes 9-0. We have request for letter of support for Connecticut Next Innovation Places project.
You're afraid I'm gonna make a mistake.
Not at all.
You handed me the right one.
Well, you had nothing in front of you, so I wanted to make sure.
It is here, but I was afraid to make another mistake. Okay. This is a resolution authorizing town partnership with the Connecticut Next Innovation Places program. Whereas the state of Connecticut has recently promoted a new program named CT Next Innovation Places that seeks to support entrepreneurs and leaders developing places that will attract the talent high-growth enterprises need. And whereas the CT Next program has initiated a competitive grant round for both planning and implementation grants available to most organizations, and whereas collaborative-based projects involving multiple jurisdictions and organizations focused on the sense of place will score the highest, and whereas Spark, Markerspace, and Cure Innovation Commons have offered to lead a proposed Story of Place initiative and grant application focused on the area, including Groton and New London, partnering with the City of New London, City of Groton, Town of Groton, Sector, Connecticut College, New London Public Schools, Southeastern Connecticut Cultural Coalition, Electric Boat, Pfizer, and UConn. And whereas Spark Marketplace and Cure Innovation Commons has the official applicants have submitted a letter to the town of Groton seeking formal endorsement, including both project support and limited financial contribution. And whereas support is also being provided by all other partners and limited financial contributions of approximately $5,000 are being pledged by the City of New London, City of Groton for this initiative, and now therefore be it resolved that the Town Council hereby provides its project endorsement towards this competitive grant request and authorize the transfer of $5,000 from general contingency, account number 1074, to legislative policy, account 1001, towards this regional Connecticut Next initiative. I so move.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilor Watson, second by Councilor Null.
Thank you.
Any further discussion?
Yes,
Councilor
I
Null?
do. I think that, based on our discussions during the COW, that we should add that we would like to include invites to the Groton Board of Education, the sub-base, Grasso Tech. I thought of Mitchell College and the Thames River Heritage Park. that all should probably be attendees on this thing. I don't know if
second
we
the
can add that to the resolution?
I mean, you can, I don't think it's necessary. We'll reach out to all
Okay.
those folks.
Yeah, this just says offer to lead a proposed.
Okay, I just think we should, though, if the town manager would reach out to
So
all those
noted, thank you.
people.
Any other discussion?
And I have one more.
Yeah, go.
This Thursday, I won't be in town, but Cure is,
Wait,
oh, yeah, okay.
order.
Yeah, we gotta, let's finish this. up.
Okay,
All right.
finish.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? That passes 9 to 0 to 0. And then we are going to suspend the rules.
I move we suspend the rules to consider a resolution to consider a joint task force between the Groton Town Council and the Board of Education. Is that correct?
That's correct.
It's a move to suspend the rules to consider that.
Second.
We have a motion by Counselor Watson, a second by Counselor Grimm to suspend the rules to consider 2016-0194. Any discussion on this? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? That passes 9 to 0 to 0. I'm going to read this real quick. Resolution establishing the Town Council Board of Education Joint Task Force on Shared Services. Whereas the Town Council and Board of Education have agreed to explore opportunities to share services, and whereas the Board of Education voted on August 22nd, 2016 to participate in the joint task force, now therefore be it resolved that the Town Council and Board of Education establish a joint task force on shared services consisting of 3 town councilors and 3 Board of Education members to investigate duplicate department services and find potential cost savings, and be it further resolved that the task force will report to the Town Council and Board of Ed by January 31st, 2017, and be it further resolved that the Town Councilors Greg Grimm, Karen Morton, and Bruce Flax, and Board of Education members Jay Whiteloff, Katrina Fitzgerald, and Lee White are appointed to the task force. I so move.
Second.
We have a motion by Counselor Flax and a second by Counselor Barber. Any discussion on this? Counselor Watson?
Yeah, I wasn't here when you folks discussed this, I don't think. This was actually discussed at the liaison committee, and the only reason I'm saying that is because there's a fair amount of information that's already been gathered for you good folks to
Okay.
get to work. So I just wanted to mention that.
Great.
Don't forget that. There has been a list of things put together already.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Counselor Wu?
Yeah, I just have an extra M in my name. That's all.
All right. Thank you. We'll edit that. We wanted to give you more space. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? That passes 9 to 0 to 0. I don't know if you can, what's that? There is no new business at the end of the,
We're in new business, aren't we? No.
I'll just tell you after the meeting's adjourned.
okay.
And I move we adjourn.
Second.
We are adjourned. Thank you.